that when they got so close to the plane shot out a ray at them and messed up all their electronics, and they lost complete control of the plane. Actually, there's a wheel up there, but it's a plane made like a wheel. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says the mother plane is made a half a mile by a half a mile, and in it there are 1,500 of these little planes. Now, the white man knows that they're up there, and they're not up there to play. They're up there to destroy the present world. Now, you can take it or let it alone. And there's nothing that they have in science or technology that will enable them to handle these planes. Now, when you see it, don't get crazy, don't panic. It's your brothers, it's your people. Don't panic, don't get excited.
Assalamu alaikum family, it's your friendly neighborhood wheel watcher brother Trey checking in, and I just wanted to thank everyone who has been on this journey with us so far. We are now over 1,500 subscribers, and all we have to say to that is all praises due to Allah. We started slow and growing large by Allah's permission, and this right here is the season finale and final episode of the Wheel Watchers podcast. So what better way to go out there with the bang? Today's episode is titled Captain Kenji Terauchi's Encounter with the Mother Plane. And without further ado, let's get into what happened. On the cold evening of November 17th, 1986, one of the most compelling and well-documented UFO encounters in aviation history unfolded in the skies above Alaska. Japan Airlines Flight 1628, a Boeing 747 cargo jet carrying French wine from Paris to Tokyo, became the stage for an extraordinary 50-minute encounter that continues to challenge government explanations and aviation science. Check that out. At the controls was Captain Kenji Terauchi, a veteran pilot and former fighter aviator with more than 10,000 hours of flight experience. His crew included co-pilot Takanori Tamifuji and flight engineer Yoshio Tsukuba. All three were trained professionals with reputations for discipline and accuracy, which made their later testimony impossible to ignore. As the aircraft entered Alaskan airspace, the crew noticed unusual lights trailing them. At first, the assumption was simple. It was probably another aircraft approaching or passing nearby. However, the situation escalated quickly. Two small glowing objects began darting around the jumbo jet. They paced the 747 with effortless control, then suddenly rushed ahead at impossible speeds. The crew watched as the lights hovered, moved vertically, and shifted positions around the aircraft in ways no known plane could match. Now, these small glowing objects were baby planes, family. Let us continue. Captain Kenji Terauchi reported that the objects appeared cylindrical with glowing ports that emitted fiery exhaust-like flares. The display suggested a propulsion system completely unlike traditional jet aircraft. The movements defied basic principles of inertia and momentum, raising immediate alarm in the cockpit. Then something far larger emerged from the darkness. In the distance, a colossal object appeared. Terauchi later referred to it as a mothership, estimating its size larger than two aircraft carriers placed end to end. That describes the mother plane perfectly, but let's continue. Shaped like a massive walnut and glowing with irregular silver flashes, the craft seemed partly illuminated by the smaller objects that had approached earlier. For more than 30 minutes, the giant craft remained with the Boeing 747. It mirrored the aircraft's movements across nearly 400 miles of sky. Terauchi attempted to evade it by banking, descending, and even completing a full circle, yet the huge object stayed fixed in formation, as if observing and tracking the aircraft deliberately. The crew could see the outline of the enormous structure blocking out the stars behind it. At times, the cockpit became noticeably warmer, suggesting the presence of heat or energy coming from this huge mother plane. This encounter was not limited to eyewitness testimony. FAA radar and Anchorage and military radar operators detected anomalous returns that matched the crew's reports. Air traffic controllers instructed the crew to change course multiple times in an attempt to identify the radar target. Although the radar contact was intermittent, there were undeniable moments when both the crew and multiple radar systems tracked the same object. During the encounter, communications between the cockpit and controllers became disrupted. Radio contact blurred and dropped out, only returning to normal after the mother plane left the area. This interference suggested more than a visual phenomenon. It pointed to the direct interaction with the aircraft's electronic systems. Despite the radar corroboration, official statements shifted rapidly. Reports suggested that the radar returns were nothing more than clutter or atmospheric anomalies, dismissing the possibility of what really happened, the mother plane interfering with its communications. When Flight 1628 landed, FAA officials immediately interviewed the crew. Their accounts were detailed, consistent, and supported by radar data. Behind the scenes, however, the reaction took a different direction. John Callahan, who served as the FAA Division Chief of Accidents and Investigations, later revealed that all radar data, recording, and reports were gathered and presented at a high-level briefing involving the CIA and members of the Reagan administration Scientific Advisory Group. According to Callahan, the evidence was clear. Multiple radar confirmations supported the pilot's testimony. Rather than release this information to the public, officials ordered the case sealed and classified. The official FAA position became one of denial. The public exclamation dismissed the radar returns as clutter and downplayed the testimony of the pilots. Ain't that crazy? All of this because of what really happened. But I digress. Let's continue. Years later, Callahan spoke openly about what he believed was a deliberate effort to bury the incident. Now let's go into the price that Captain Kenji Terauchi paid for actually giving his testimony. The consequences were severe. Once the story became public, global newspapers labeled him the UFO pilot. Japan Airlines and the FAA responded by grounding him and declaring him unfit to fly. Within aviation circles, some called him a UFO repeater, implying that he was unreliable and prone to unusual claims. Terauchi stated that he was visited by unidentified officials in suits who questioned him in detail, yet seemed more focused on silencing him than documenting the event. For years, he was kept from flying commercial routes, and his professional reputation suffered greatly. Only after the incident faded from public attention was he quietly reinstated, although the damage to his career was permanent. Less than 2 months later, on January 11, 1987, Terauchi reported seeing mysterious lights again near the Arctic Circle at 37,000 feet. Without radar confirmation, the FAA dismissed the sighting as ice crystals reflecting village lights. Terauchi, however, stood by his account, so check that out. He saw the wheels again months later. But why does this case still matter? It matters because the JAL Flight 1628 incident remains a cornerstone in modern so-called UFO history due to several key factors. Credible witnesses with professional aviation backgrounds, multiple radar systems tracking unidentified objects, extraordinary flight characteristics beyond known technology of this world, or should I say Satan's world. In conclusion, we definitely know and realize that this is one of the most credible encounters with the mother plane out there. This is 100% truth and actual facts. Just think about that. Kenji Terauchi described this aircraft being larger than 2 aircraft carriers, which the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan described as a half a mile by half a mile. The mother plane is definitely a serious topic, and it has been documented multiple times, this being one of the most famous encounters. Thank you so much, family, for listening. I'm your friendly neighborhood wheel watcher, Brother Trey, and always remember, where there's a will, there's a way. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. Please be sure to like and subscribe. This was the season finale and final episode of the Wheel Watchers podcast. And until next time, always remember, where there's a will, there's a way. Peace.